answer your guys' questions.
YouTube.
We're live on YouTube. I put it on my Twitter too. I never tried it. How is it? I think it's good, honestly. Pat said I didn't like it. I think it's fine. But Shelby, you know I'm not picky. I'm not picky when it comes to like beers and seltzers. Like, you want to know what I really hate is Guinness. And I think anyone,
like any dark beer or just Guinness and
just any dark beer. I think anyone who says they like it is lying.
See, like, I think like there's a time and a place for dark beer. Like, I wouldn't just like go out and like casually drink one. But I feel like if you go to like a barbecue spot or something like that, you get a nice dark beer with your dinner.
I don't feel like that.
I don't like drink it to get drunk, but
Guinness is the chocolate milk of beers. Well, what's chocolate milk? If chocolate milk's the chocolate milk of chocolate or of milk, then it's good.
See, I'm not a fan of chocolate milk though.
I mean, I'm not a huge fan. I like it, but I don't like get it. But anyway, best question wins beer money, and we're looking for some insightful, thought-provoking topics. And Pat's been working hard his first couple weeks here. He's learning. He's what are we producing? Live at Lunch, Dream Grow Rich, podcast for me, 2 podcasts this week, B-May, plus the content, plus learning about websites and email forms and all this stuff. So, yeah, you're liking it though, right?
Made it to Friday.
Cheers again. Let's do it. And yeah, man, I mean, we want to grow Lowe Media into a big media company. We're in the early stages, and in order to do that, you know, you have to have all the above skills, marketing and technical. And I'm the guy to put you on the right track. I was here late last night. I got a second wind yesterday, and I was working late. And I'm going to write a blog about this college football thing. I'm thinking a lot about it.
Yeah,
like, I want to really break it down and try to find like the spots where people can make money. So I was thinking about that last night. Then I started hitting the tennis ball. I hit 520 in a row before I messed up. Can you pay me to buy a badge? You pay me $20 and I'll pay you back 21 after the show. Wait, why'd I wink? I shouldn't have winked at him. I should have winked at you.
Hey, I got a better idea. If you ask us a valuable question, we give you money.
Yeah, there you go.
And you could use that to either buy beer or buy a badge.
Exactly.
Whatever one you want.
I love it. Shelby said, no, I didn't. I did. 520, swear on my life. I mean, why would I lie about that, you know? I don't lie. I don't really have the ability. I put some in-topic questions. I don't know if you did. I don't see him. Ask it again. But one thing that was a big deal I thought this week was Simone Biles. I learned new information about that. I was listening to Joe Rogan, and he was saying that I'll answer that in a second. He was saying that like she like takes Adderall, that's part of her thing, and like in Japan she's not allowed to. And like I can imagine that throwing you off. Like you take that and then you can't take it all of a sudden. And like,
what's the reasoning behiund that? Why can't they take? Honestly, I'm assuming it's prescribed medication.
It's prescribed medication, and I think that Japanese are against it because in World War II they had all the kamikaze bombers, and like their society's kind of against like stimulants because a lot of those people were on them. But still go ahead.
They aren't allowing the athletes to like take their prescribed medication.
Right. That doesn't seem right.
That's like
Joe Rogan was kind of defending her, but he was only defending her in that sense. And like, I mean, if you're used to taking like, I mean, obviously, Adderall's kind of a performance-enhancing drug, but even if it was any type of drug, if you're like used to taking it as part of your routine, all of a sudden you get there and you can't, like, I could definitely see how that could affect you for sure. But again, wouldn't you know this stuff in advance and say you know in 2 years you're going to Tokyo and you can't take it, you stop taking it and then start performing like, so you're used to it like that. No matter what it comes down to, that was something very interesting and new that I learned. But no matter what it comes down to, I still can't see it any other way than that. Like, she's not a champ. I mean, she won gold medals before. Like people say like, oh, you're such a jerk. Like you're such a dick. You like, you know, she's just doing what's best for her mental health. Yes, if I'm judging her as a normal person, I completely understand. But I'm putting her up there with Tiger Woods and MJ. I'm putting her up there with a top notch on that level. The level where is Simone Biles more athletic than me? Yeah, obviously, I could never do what she does. So like, I'm not saying I'm better than her. I'm saying like on a commentary level, like she's not the GOAT. She's not. How can you do that? I still don't understand. I thought it was very interesting. And I don't think she's came back at all.
That's crazy. I don't think so either. Yeah, and it was like when we last checked, we're like one gold medal, like
Yeah, one more
behind
gold medal
everybody
makes a big
else. So
difference.
it's like,
Yeah,
I don't know. But I mean, I do understand it from that perspective. Like, if you are like religiously like taking prescribed medication that you need in order to keep your mind right, like that's like a different story in my book, because
that
like
is a different story.
That completely throws you off. Like you're not there. Like now, that's completely different.
Now, if she like had her bottle and she was like at the airport and they're like, no, and she didn't know, like that's bad preparation right there. Like, don't you have like a team to know the rules? Like, I agree definitely that affects her, but like, didn't she know that in advance? And the other thing that was the only legitimate thing I heard against it was the twisties. You know what that is? I don't either. It's apparently a very specific like gymnast thing. But if you get these like twisties, like it's like you're obviously out of whack, which is the problem. You can't get out of that. But if you're out of whack and you get the twisties, like you can really, really hurt yourself in gymnastics if you're like kind of twisting the wrong way. So yeah, okay, don't do that. Don't get hurt. But still, her head, like Michael Jordan doesn't start missing free throws in the finals. And Antetokounmpo, Giannis, he started making free throws in Game 7. The best people, whenever the occasion rise up, whatever the circumstances are, you prep and then you become a champion at that moment. And I'm not seeing that from her. And you know, I'm still got some little criticism for her on that. She still had the spins or whatever, like even standing, can't tell up from down and stuff. Like, I mean, you could say the moment hits and she crumbles, but she won golds before. It's a stain on her legacy as far as like looking at the highest performing athletes. That's all I gotta say. And it sucks that she only has a chance to perform once every 4 years, where in other sports it's every year. Any additional comments on that, Pat?
No. I mean, it's definitely like crazy and like kind of fucked up that like they don't allow like prescribed medication in, which I think is essential in that manner in that whole setting. But
I heard it on Joe Rogan.
What are you gonna do? It's over now.
Is it? Can she still come back? Is there more events? We'll see.
I don't know. I'm not like very tuned into the whole gymnastics aspect.
You're not?
Even the Olympics in a whole. Like I really don't even care.
The Olympics are not that cool. It's whatever.
Obviously, go Team USA. Woo! On my back right here.
There you go. Yeah, Simone Biles, baby. And Simone Biles, anytime you want, you can come on the Sean Lowery Show podcast. You have an open invite, and I'd love to talk to you about it. All right, what's the stupidest movie I'll ever made? Well, I don't think you can group me. You can't group me and Pat together on that one. But and what did you learn from it, dude? I've done so many stupid things. The stupidest thing I ever done
in business.
In business, right? That's I know. Oh yeah, I didn't say that, but I'm thinking in that sense. I mean, I've told the story many times, but a couple of years ago, I got the business in big trouble because I didn't know my metrics. I was spending too much on ads. I was getting tons of sales, keeping my employees busy. And meanwhile, the bottom line, I was losing money, and it was a slow drip. And then I think 2018, April, I had to fire half my staff. I had to rent out my house. I had to live on pennies a day for like 4 months while I grinded and got my business back on track. I should have noticed that earlier. I noticed I was not making money every month, and I was like, well, figure yourself out. That was stupid, and I learned a lot from it. So that was one thing. I mean, I say it makes stupid decisions all the time. That's actually not true. So I don't know. I don't have that many more. Like, I'm sure little micro decisions. I've hired people who I've had to fire right away. I hired an operations manager that I had for 7 months. I was paying way too much that I knew after like 2 hours wasn't going to be good. And I kept him for 7 months. That was a disaster. But I like to let things play out a little bit. I like to let things play out. Very zen. If things are going bad in the moment, I'm able to like be like, this is okay in the moment. Let's focus on the bigger picture. What's there to learn from it in the moment? I can't, it's hard for me to remember my bad decisions because my brain automatically erases negative memories because fuck them. Sean, favorite Dave Matthews song, go. Lie in Our Graves. You like Dave Matthews at all?
To an extent. Like, I'm like a very like basic Dave Matthews
very
fan.
Basic Dave Matthews.
I'm like the ants marching guy.
Fair enough. And I don't shame you for that. Dave Matthews is my favorite band of all time. My favorite type of music is rap. Rock and roll is like dead. like MGK had like a punk album, but that's still
that's like punk rock.
That's like electric,
yeah. But like rock and roll.
Who's
like
the number one rock and roll band in the world right now?
I have no idea.
Like maybe Dave Matthews. Like I don't know. Like,
are they rock and roll?
I mean,
no.
Yes. I'm talking
they're
about
like alternative.
I'm talking about.
I would say.
I'm talking about 5 guys on stage. One with a guitar, one with a bass guitar, one with drums, and one with whatever the fuck else they got. Like a band, like 5 guys, and what they do well is all play instruments together.
Yeah.
What band? What's the number one band in the world that does that? There's none. There's like none left.
Yeah. Like none that like are like chart toppers. Like
none.
You can make the argument that like MGK is like doing that, but like that's punk rock.
That's
like
punk.
That's kind of like how like Green Day and like all of them.
I would give it to Green Day, but they're not there. I'd maybe say like I'm not the Lumineers or like the.
They're not rock and roll.
Right. I mean, they have they play music. Like,
yeah.
That's the only. No, I'm saying not rock and roll.
Like metal drums, like electric guitars.
I'm saying all the members of the group have an instrument. That's my baseline for this. There's like none like that anymore. Don't worry, he's
Dead
back.
And Co. Franco
he's back. See, when we're doing fantasy football, well, I know I'll be there for it. But Dave Matthews though, like I went through a stage when I was like 19 or 18, and like I have an obsessive amount of like unnecessary knowledge. I know every Dave Matthews song, even like the new ones. I always listen to it. Dave Matthews is like my like, and I can totally understand how someone listens to Dave Matthews and be like, "This is old guy music." Like it's not really like me, but dude, Dave, right. Me and B-May when he was here last weekend, we put on this one song and like they rock, and we were like in the car and we parked and we just kept going for like 5 minutes, like like full blast. It was sick. It was awesome. Dead and Co. Don't even know who that is. Where's that weird dude from a few months ago? Link up with him. You're talking about. I don't think you're talking about Brandon. You're talking about some guy called in and was like real creepy. Yeah, he can call back anytime. Bring Boyd back. He's not in the band anymore. Boyd Tinsley on the violin. All right, I'm switching to a Blue Moon. Let's take a chug, Pat.
Let's do it. I got an interesting topic after that.
All right. So far, we have no winner. Nick might have the best question. Where's that weird dude? Yeah, the kid who called him. Yeah, dude, that was, I don't know, man. He stopped DMing me all the time, actually. All right, go ahead.
Let's talk about some racing, and I'm not talking about cars.
Okay.
Usain Bolt called out Tyreek Hill.
Ooh.
And said that he could run a faster 40-yard dash than him.
Okay.
And Tyreek said, I'm not scared. Where are you at? Let's get this going.
So, like, don't they have recorded times?
Yeah. Well, I mean, anyone could say, like, we ran this, but it's,
I mean,
it's different
so
and, like, the heat of the moment.
So, okay. So, I trust Tyreek's combine time.
Yeah.
And I trust, like, whatever Usain Bolt's recorded time is, like, as far as accuracy. But that's interesting. Like, I can understand how, like, in tennis, your opponent can affect you. In basketball, your opponent can affect you. Defensive, like, they're right in front of you. Golf, your opponent affecting you is more on you because, like, you shouldn't be affected by your opponent in golf. They're not playing defense. Any sport where there's no defense, you shouldn't be affected by your opponent. And a 40-yard dash would be that. You wouldn't be affected. You're separated.
I don't know, because there's like a start and go time. If you're not on at the same time that gun goes off, and I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong here and in the comments, I feel like a 40-yard dash emphasizes acceleration over speed, where I feel like
it's like
Tyreek Hill excels in that, like literally jumping out the gates, and then whereas on the other end, Usain Bolt's like, he doesn't really pick up until like 50 meters in, and then like the last 50 meters of that 100-yard dash, he's flying.
Right.
Because like if you look at his like Olympic trials, like he's kind of like neck and neck with some of these guys, and then like midway through, he starts like picking up.
Burst ahead.
I think I would, and obviously I'm a Kansas City Chiefs fan, but
that's right. We never even talked about that.
Bias aside, I would give the edge to Tyreek Hill in a 40-yard dash. 100-meter dash, I'm giving that to Bolt.
Yeah, that's like the world record in that, right?
Is Usain Bolt out of his like, I don't know, did he peak?
I mean, I feel like isn't running in this Olympics?
Yeah,
and he's not in it, right? Is he?
No, I don't think so.
So like
he's retired.
So he's retired. So he's obviously trying to like spark up some flair.
Yeah.
It's it's a race. Like, I feel like you could just be like, all right, 1, 2, 3, and put down a card with both of your best times, but that's not the same, I guess. Like, it is affected by the moment.
Yeah.
Like I said in golf, you're not affected by your opponent, but people always say if you're in the last 3 holes with Tiger Woods, like when he was in his prime, there's something about it. You know, he's not on you playing defense.
You can like feel the energy change, like so the atmosphere. Everyone's like standing up.
Yeah. So I would take Usain Bolt just to say the opposite of you. Nick said, look up Michael Che, Simone Biles jokes. See if you think they're offensive.
Blasted for
cool All right, jokes. Let's listen. Man, I want to make fun of Simone. Oh, these are tweets. Man, I want to make fun of Simone Biles. All right, so I'm reading Michael Che's tweets. Let's do this for a sec. I'm going to turn the volume down. I got like 3 minutes of Simone Biles jokes in my head, and I'm going to the cellar tonight to say them on a microphone. As the dorky kids say, I missed it.
Pause it.
Like, go back to it?
Yeah,
pause it. All right. So this is, all right, if you just tuned in, we are reading Michael Che, the head writer on SNL, who does the Weekend Update, his jokes about Simone Biles. Okay. He said, I got 3 minutes of jokes of Simone Biles in my head. I'm going to the cellar tonight to say them into a microphone. As the dorky kids say, I'm choosing violence. Saturday Night Live star Michael Che is under fire after allegedly posting a series of tasteless messages on his Instagram stories about Simone Biles and sharing a disgusting joke submitted by one of his followers about the sexual abuse Biles suffered from Larry Nassar, that one guy. Here's the joke. Larry Nassar, and this is the guy who's like is rotting away in prison because he was like feeling up all the gymnasts. Understands that's the guy. The joke is Larry Nassar understands Simone Biles better than anyone. He too had to quit doing what he loved at the pinnacle of his career because of mounting pressure. That's fucked up. But that was a Michael Chase joke. He just like reshared it. This comes after Biles pulled out of the Olympics team. Michael Che later claimed he was hacked. What? Oh, okay. All right.
Man, I got
okay. So basically, I think it's Michael Che made a few innocent jokes, but then somehow like shared that joke about the guy who was like, you know, creeping on Simone Biles, who's rotting away in prison. Anyone who says they got hacked is like the funniest thing. Like they say something dumb on their own Twitter and they're like, oh, I got hacked. Like you did not get hacked. Like it's not even a thing. If someone was going to hack, why would they just like tweet and talk like you? And it's too nuanced for a hacker to do. No, I don't appreciate that joke. Like, I do like dark humor sometimes. Like, if I laugh at something, it's not like I'm agreeing or like condoning the joke. It's just like, oh, you shouldn't have said that, and that's the funny part. Good one, Nick. I think he's saying he got hacked as a joke. Okay, I agree with that. Okay, so here's the thing he said. He said, man, I got hacked today. I can't believe they got me. Y'all know I don't do jokes about whites and cops. I only do jokes about whites and cops. So it's good now. I changed my password and everything. Anyway, you want to hear about the baby dough? That's crazy. All right. See you at church. I'm going to get there early. Okay. It was a joke that he said he got hacked. Because like it's ridiculous to say that you got hacked. Let's see if it has anything else here. Michael, the posts have been deleted and his Instagram has been wiped clean.
Damn.
Oh, okay. So, you know, for a comedian, that is absolutely good for him. It's absolutely good for like his whole thing, his whole aura, his whole I got canceled, the whole like people are my back. And I think the best thing that ever happened to like Louis C.K. was he got caught doing something that he always jokes about, and like then he's like, yeah, so my life sucks, and that's funny. It's funny to like have your life be miserable.
Question on YouTube.
All right, question on YouTube. Read it out, Pat.
All right, this one's from Nico. Did you see that the U.S. government sold the Wu-Tang album for $2.2 million that was taken when FBI seized it from Martin
Shkreli?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, so that guy Martin Shkreli, I'm pretty sure is like, first of all, I have no idea what this is, but I'm pretty sure that guy Martin Shkreli is the guy who like bought like drug company and then raised the prices and like people died and is like one of the worst people ever. So he actually did something illegal as well, but he was rich. So the U.S. government got Martin Shkreli, who's kind of like a scumbag, like smart businessman guy who's like a scumbag and like actually broke laws. He must have had some like fancy Wu-Tang album and they sold it for 2.2 million. I mean, good. Give it back to the taxpayers. I don't know. I don't know the details of the Wu-Tang album part. I don't know why it was worth 2.2 million. I don't get that part. But if you can take high assets from somebody who is now in jail or in prison and the government seizes your property, you should sell it back and put the money back into the public fund. That's what the FBI does. They're federal thing. So I mean, I'm cool with it. I just don't understand the 2.2 million. Maybe the person who bought it, the value in it was like, I got this from that guy who I don't know. Tell us more, Nico, about that story. But
talk about the YMW Melly case. Do you know what that is?
No, do you do?
I have no idea.
Google it.
Type it in. Simone
Biles. I'm so curious to see what she says. You type it in. YMW Melly case. Let's see. First thing. Everything you know about the rapper's double murder case.
Oh.
I always assume that if like someone is on trial for murder, like it's already not good, like a good, not a good start. Like yourself to be on trial for murder. And then
I don't know. I've heard about
this guy.
So he has the song. It's called like "Murder on My Mind," and basically he rapped about how he like killed these people.
He confessed in the song. Dude, that is literally a Key and Peele skit.
Yeah.
You ever see that show, Key and Peele? That's a literal skit. There's a detective and the rapper, and he keeps playing a song back to him. He's like, "I'm just rapping, man," and like. He confessed to a murder in a song. That's hilarious. One time in my fraternity, like we did this thing at the end of the chapter meetings called Gavel Pass, where we passed the gavel around and everyone told a funny story from the weekend or something. And my one friend, Pat Dunphy, was like, dude, I got so fucked up this weekend. Lost my car, couldn't find it, and like something like that. And then like the next day, like we had this like standards board in our fraternity, which was like whatever. But he got like in trouble for the story that he told at the meeting, and we were laughing. But like it's so funny to like be chilling, talking, and then like you admit something that you actually get in trouble for. So my first instinct is that's hilarious that he confessed to a murder in a song and he's actually in trouble for it. It'd be like Aaron Hernandez coming out with a song being like, I fucking killed that dude. Like, but I mean, like it's not like hardcore evidence, but it can be like substantiatory evidence that like can lead to it. It can bring questions into it.
So apparently, it, like going back to the Wu-Tang album.
Okay.
It's now up to the unknown buyer to either release it or not. So he's the only one that has it.
Okay. So Wu-Tang made an album, never released it to anybody. And how did this guy have it? Okay. So I mean, I'm assuming he had a lot of money and like bought it as like a rare art type of style purchase.
Yeah, that's weird.
Dude, I
don't know anything about that.
That's cool. I mean, I'd like to hear it. My friend Nico loves Wu-Tang. That's how he knows about the story. It's looking bad. What's looking bad? All right. What else you guys got? Come on, bring it. Pat, we never did the motivational video this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Pat texted me this morning and said, yo, I want to do a motivational video. And I was thinking, do you just want to be motivated, Pat? Is that what it is? I know today, like, I had a couple things to deal with, but
yeah.
If we had more time, I'd be ready.
Yeah, I was looking for some motivation this morning.
He just wanted to edit
some Friday motivation.
When you were editing the other like
that was fun.
Motivational video. Great editing. But you were getting fired up?
Yeah.
All right.
So it's different when it's like you just saying it and then I put some music behind it and then music changes everything.
Music changes everything.
You could put that. Did you ever see like the one it's like the one Titanic song. It's like the Titanic song makes any sports moment give you chills. It's so funny.
I feel like
it's true.
I feel like you got to put it in like slow motion though.
Yeah.
If you put the clips in slow motion and you play the Titanic song.
I wish we had like a TV behind us so they could see it.
It can be done in the future. But music makes everything better. Motivation is like, how do you feel about motivation? What do you think about motivation?
It's either annoying or it like actually gets you fired up.
You're talking about like how it affects you.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't know. Like
if you're not in the mood, it's very, very vibe.
Exactly. Yeah. And you have to be like open to accept it.
Of course. But also, like they say, one of the worst things that like a person can do is like continually get motivated and then like not get motivated and then like we'll get to that in a second. And, motivation doesn't do shit. You got to be able to be motivated when you're like not motivated. Anyway, what's this?
All right. So, question from YouTube. For those of you who don't know me, I said my secret talent last week was that I'm a good rollerblader. And so the question on YouTube right now
I gotta say my initial instinct 1 second after was to make fun of you for that.
Question for Pat: was the hardest part about rollerblading telling your parents that you're gay? So, to answer your question, I feel like the hardest part about rollerblading was to give up ice skating. So I used to play hockey.
Okay.
I used to play hockey, and then obviously there's like I moved to South Carolina. No like
that was like last week.
Ice skating rinks. Okay, well, no, I went to school in South Carolina.
Right.
So yeah, I feel like the hardest part wasn't telling my parents that I was gay, but that was fairly easy. But
they're accepting. It's a new
they're very accepting. But the hardest part about rollerblading was definitely hanging up my ice skates. Thanks for the question.
If I'm going to continue to mock rollerblading, and by the way, my favorite thing was you sent a Snapchat the next day and you're like, I'm out here rollerblading, fuck the haters. Like, I love that. Like, that is the right attitude, of course. But if I'm going to continue to make fun of rollerblading, not even in a funny sense, just in a logical sense, like, say you're rollerblading and you happen to drive by like a bunch of soldiers like saluting the flag, like, and they're like, everyone stop and salute the flag. Like, you'd have to be like rollerblading in circles around them. Like, you can,
what do you mean?
Like, you can't, like, can you like stop and stand still?
You could stop.
All right. Well, in my head, it's funnier when you can't stop. It's either you're rollerblading or you're like laying on like the grass, and like then you got to get up and rollerblade. So like, it's funny to think of situations where you're like rollerblading through town. By the way, not like. It's good exercise, but there's better exercises. And like,
are they more fun though?
And the other thing is like, if you're genuinely using it for transportation, and if you are, then you'll have like shoes on your back. Because once you get there, you'll change into shoes.
Well,
all right. So if it's not for transportation, if it's for exercise, that's funny because it's not the best exercise. And then I'm just thinking about like, you see someone you know, like a girl you like, and you're like, hey, and she like walks up to you.
I love it.
And you have to like rollerblade around her in circles. Like,
no.
You can stand.
Not me.
How do you stand?
Me.
How do you stand? Like, are you like?
No, you just stand. So it's like you get your feet like you put them at like 45-degree angles, so you're not going anywhere.
And you can.
And if you're coming to a stop, you got to come up and just like twist your hips like that.
Does it have like brakes on the back? Like
no. That's the pussy blades. You got to get the hockey.
But I will give you points for uniqueness about rollerblading because nobody rollerblades anymore. Nobody, literally. I have not seen a person in the flesh rollerblade in a long time. And I'm just waiting one day to just see Pat like rollerblade by. But yeah, dude, classic.
Franco saw it. I don't know if he's still alive, but he was the one who asked you about the Dave Matthews Band. He saw me rollerblading the other day.
Did he make fun of you?
He was recording me.
It's so weird how that's your initial reaction. Like, you're definitely someone that's, and here's another thing to make fun of about rollerblading. It's like, look at me, I'm rollerblading. You know, like, yes, I'm doing something that people don't usually do right around everybody. Yeah. Look at me.
Make fun of it, but you can put blades on and you'll eat your ass.
Do you? I've never, the whole hockey, like rollerblading world, that's not my thing. Like, I never played hockey. Not a big fan.
It's a little too physical.
No.
Yeah.
I played lacrosse. You mean too physical for me?
You think that lacrosse is more physical?
No,
than hockey?
I don't think that. I'm saying the reason I don't do hockey is not because I'm not physical enough. I love smashing around.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying it's
good.
Physically demanding for it.
I mean, I just hit 520 tennis balls off the wall last night. And dude, imagine the focus that takes. Last night I was just lasered in. I was lasered in. And I was practicing in my head. all right, so I have in my room I have a tennis ball and I have a big wall and we put up like a little net. And like I like to make games out of everything. And I was like, this is my focus practice. Like I was in the zone. I was like breathing during it. I was listening to Lil Wayne. I actually set up a playlist because I knew I was.
Were you playing on the Oculus or?
No.
Is that how you got 500?
The Oculus would be harder. I was thinking as I was like 420, I was like, I should have filmed this, but And want to know one of the hardest things about getting to 520? It was counting in my head. I mean,
yeah,
like I had to count. I counted.
That's part of the game.
And it also makes it easier to focus, though. It makes it easier to focus. Yeah, let's talk about the. Reason I was staying late last night is because I have someone coming on my podcast next week, and hopefully a few more about this college football thing. The fact that they can make money now, and I want to become kind of like an expert on the topic. And there's a lot of open areas. So one thing I researched was the video game. So NCAA football, classic game. The last time they came out with it.
2014.
And honestly, like I like sports video games. I'm not a huge video gamer. Why do you think it's the best game?
I think it's like just like the ability to play as a college team rather than like NFL.
But I would imagine it's like.
I think it has better dynamics too than like I don't play them anymore, but like I remember like it was a big thing, like the elusiveness, how you can like control your player. It had like the road to glory where you could start like as a high school player.
They had the feature where you could like play as mascots. And stuff.
Like
the last time they came out with that game was 2014.
Yeah,
and on the cover of it was Denard Robinson, whatever that quarterback from Michigan. They haven't had a game since then, and they're coming out. It was called NCAA football. It's now going to be called college football. It's going to be called a different thing. It's still EA Sports, and it's not coming out until July 2023. So there's like I was like, is it this year? Like So
that's a lot.
So here's another thing I learned. NFL players, they have like a collective bargaining like union essentially, and like I'm not a big union guy, but for like a small league like that, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Each player in the NFL, and I couldn't find the number for the NBA. Each player in the NFL gets a yearly check for their name, image, and likeliness in the video game Madden. If you're on the cover, you get more.
Yeah. And you also get cursed.
Guess what? Yeah.
On the cover.
Guess what the check is? Guess how much the check is for?
For Madden, or
each player in the NFL.
Oh, God,
if they're in the NFL, they get a check from EA Sports one time a year, for a certain amount.
It's probably a couple mil, right?
No, it's no. A couple mil. There's a lot
for a Madden game.
Well, there's a lot of players in the NFL. I'm saying how much does one player get?
Oh, I thought you meant the cover player.
No. I'm saying someone not on the cover.
Oh,
the backup right guard, like, and also like any player, like the average.
Like a couple $1,000.
17,000. So, but they have it negotiated, and they have it in the NBA. I'm sure it's similar. Well, the NBA is less players, but anyway, there's a precedent set there for them. They have a collective bargaining. It's called I was tweeting with this guy about it. It's called a group licensing agency, and the college football doesn't have one yet. So if you are a group licensing company, that is a great opportunity for you. It's a lot more athletes than the NFL or NBA. But they don't know when the game comes out if the players will make money from their name, image, and likeness from the video game. And the only way is for like lawyers to negotiate with EA Sports to have some type of payout as like a group. And it's very like unionized. So
is it 17,000 like per player or
per player per year?
No matter what?
Per player per year. Yeah. I think it might have been the average, or like the cover player obviously gets more. There may be some like certain things, but one thing that EA Sports said, so that's for the NFL. So for EA Sports, I read the contract about how the schools get paid out, and the better you're performed, the more you get paid out. They have certain tiers of how much they pay out, like the Notre Dames, the Alabamas. They're going to get top tier money from the game.
Yeah,
Coastal might be on like tier 2 now, and years ago they would have been on tier 4, but. They said there's an incentive for in-game downloads for the universities to make money. They have the structure set up with the game and the universities for how much money you can make. The players are not part of that yet. So the players aren't going to be making money from that video game. The players aren't going to be making money from like selling jerseys unless like the school can't help you make money. You can make money, but you can't make money that comes from the school. So if the school sells your jerseys, you can't make money from that. So if you don't do anything, you're not getting a penny.
I think it's so cool though. Like, just to be in the game, like,
to be in the game. And it used to be like,
they
would just have like your number. That'd be interesting to see.
No, they didn't even Oh yeah, it would just be the number, but it would be like
it looked
QB1.
exactly like him.
Yeah,
it looked exactly
yeah,
like him.
yeah.
And yeah, that was cool. I still love the college football game.
Yeah,
it was actually
awesome.
it's the way I learned. Like
really awesome.
It was the way I learned. Like Notre Dame's my squad. It's the way I learned.
Let's go.
It's the way I learned.
Cheers, go Irish.
To the Irish, baby. The way I learned the players. You know, like when I watch him in real life, I'd be like, oh yeah, number 52, number 53. Like his speed is this and that. But
you don't know the names, but you know the numbers.
Yeah. Well, then I know their names more than other people's names. But like, so that's like some of the things I learned in this topic. So it's a wide open space. But basically, like that's like the hard data of how you don't make any money as a baseline. So the college athlete rules have changed. And I was watching Mo Hassan, the guy who's coming to my podcast, USC quarterback. He said when the Supreme Court made the ruling, everyone was celebrating and cheering. And I think it's funny to think about. They're all celebrating, they're all cheering, and then they check their bank accounts and like they don't have any more money. Like it's not automatic. It's a whole new world, and there's not much said about it. I'm going to become an expert on this topic. And I was thinking I was going to make a video for high school kids and for college kids, and then maybe like promote a little bit on Facebook and like target that age group. And become like an expert on this topic because it has to do with young entrepreneurs. That's like where I can excel.
Right.
Like I'm in the area where I'm talking to a 22, 21-year-old about business, like I can teach you. Like if you're 38 and you're like a public CEO, like you can teach me. But I'm interested in this field because of that. So I have some more notes on my thing, but there are certain ways you couldn't make money before. If you went on a game show, you couldn't make money. My cousin Pat, RIP actually, he had muscular dystrophy, and he lived in Syracuse, and he always wanted to be a radio host. And he passed away a couple of years ago at like 28, as muscular dystrophy does. But he had a dream job. He worked for the radio broadcasting for the Syracuse like radio station. And one time, one of the players came in, one of the players on the team, and he was in charge of the Twitter for the radio. And he took a picture of the player holding up a sign, and the sign said the name of the radio show, but on the bottom there was a logo for a sponsor. So he took a picture of the player he wasn't thinking this is going to make money. This is a sponsorship.
Yeah.
He was thinking I want to take this player, give him the sign, take a picture, put it on Twitter, promote our show. We had one of the players on the show. He got fired. He got fired because he had a college athlete promoting an endorsement. Like the rules are insane.
That's crazy.
Like destroying.
Yeah. He was like the founder of the reason like this is happening now. He was a UCF kicker, and while he was at UCF, he was like vlogging his whole experience, and
he's good at that.
And he's really good at it. Yeah, he has a great personality. Like, dude could kick the football, and he like kind of like basically documented behind the scenes at USC or UCF, and started making money off his YouTube channel.
And got kicked out of school.
And got in a lot of trouble. They said you either pay back the money that you made and exterminate your YouTube channel, or you're going to be expelled from the school. So
it's so irrational.
He was like, fuck you guys.
It's so irrational.
Making money off YouTube.
Dude,
so
Reggie Bush deserves his Heisman back.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like Coach K from Duke went through a period where he was very scrutinized for some recruiting things. Jim Boeheim from Syracuse got, had some like restrictions on recruiting because he broke the rules because of all these little things. Like it was illogical. Now, go ahead.
So recruiting, I don't think you're allowed. There's no.
So there's
you
no.
Can't pay someone to come play for you.
You can't pay someone to come play for you. No, no, but you can't get any money from the school. You can't make any money. Now, here's the other rule. You can, if you do an ad for a car dealership, you can say, "I'm Sean Lowery with Notre Dame. Go Irish." You're allowed to say the name of your school. You're allowed to say the name of your mascot, but you can't use the logo. You can't use the Notre Dame logo in that ad. So you're allowed to say,
because then it would look like a Notre Dame ad.
That's just the rules. That's just, like I've been researching them deeply. You're allowed to say that you go to the school. You're allowed to say that you're on the team and you're part of the association. But you can't, but if in that promotion or in that advertisement, you can't use the logo. So a car dealership who gets a local athlete and pays them, they would allow them to say that, but not use the logo in their ad. Now, recruiting is fascinating because you can't pay. The coach cannot just be like, here's $10,000.
Yeah,
That's not enough. Here's $1 million. Come to the school. No, that's not allowed because you can't.
That would be so fun.
But you're deciding to go between Michigan and Michigan State. You're a huge recruit. You want to go to Michigan or Michigan State. Michigan's in Ann Arbor. Michigan State's in East Lansing. A big restaurant chain in East Lansing hits you up when you're in high school. It's like, hey, if you're in the area, because you have to be local, right? If you come to East Lansing and come to Michigan State, we'd be willing to give you this like deal to like do commercials and promotions for our business. That's essentially the same thing. And
it's the loophole.
It's the rules on the recruiting are not established. I've researched it and I know that. Like, yes, the school can't pay you, but can the coach go to local sponsors? Because like, colleges have boosters. They have boosters.
Yeah.
They basically have parents and alumni and
alumni
school,
clubs, yeah.
And they'll do anything with money to like help the team do well. If you're in the booster,
those are the season ticket holders.
If you're in the booster club,
at every game,
you're season ticket holders. You can sell your tickets if the team does well. You take pride in that brand. You're a graduate of the school. Like you put as part of your identity as a 45-year-old businessman that if Florida State does well, that's good for me. I'm a Florida State guy. You're part of the boosters. You're rich. You'll pay money to help the program in any way. You'll buy them weight rooms. You'll buy them like anything they can. Like Nike is Oregon sponsor. They have the sickest jerseys. Like Under Armour is Maryland sponsor. They have sick jerseys. Like that stuff, the coach can't give them money. But if the coach goes to local businesses or boosters or whatever and says, hey, potentially float out an offer, is that allowed? At this time, that is allowed. So recruiting has changed. Changed because now the guys who need to start thinking about this are high school athletes. Because you're going to get opportunities at both places to make money, but it's like, all right, I added up all the emails I got. If I go to Michigan, I'm going to make $950,000. If I go to Michigan State, it's $830,000. Like, also those aren't binding contracts. I don't think you can sign a contract before you go, but also you could. If you live in Ann Arbor, you sign a contract with East Lansing, you drive over there to film the commercial. I don't know. It's the Wild West. In the business world, it's one of the most Wild West things there's ever been with rule changes because the rules before were insane, illogical,
so
irrational.
Restrictive.
Now it's become like, okay, we're going to be rational. And like the whole landscape has shifted and there's so many open rules. So it's insane. Let me just pop up the stock real quick while we're on the topic. Like these are the things you can make money for. That people might not be thinking about for college athletes. Now, the other thing is like you spend all your time trying to be an entrepreneur. You're going to like get put in the back seat on the team, and then it's hard to focus on a brand, school, girls, partying, and like a football schedule. But all right, so here's some of the things that they can do to make money. These are in the rules. You can monetize your social media channels. You can profit from writing a book or making an album, a music album. You can sell like your digital content. You can create and make profit from it. Here is a big one, and this is for a D3 fencer. You can host a sports camp. That's one that's advice for like the smaller time people.
Yeah.
Like, in your local community, you can host a swimming camp. And what if you're an 8-year-old and you're a mom and someone's pitching to a swimming camp, would you rather go to the random
to the YMCA
this guy just wants to see kids in their boxers, or this guy who's like actually on the local like community, or it's more legit. So that's a big one. You can sign autographs, endorsements, and personal appearances. So like personal appearances, you might think like a big speech, but also like some dude gives you $500 to come to his kid's birthday, and you just fuck around. Like you make $500, and he's like, it's cool to the kids that you got you're the basketball player from College of Charleston to come to your thing. Autographs, and you can start a business among other potential opportunities. Individual schools will be allowed to make a list of products that don't match the values. If you're like endorsing like a porn site, like the school could potentially have some rules where they're like, hey man. So there's a lot of opportunities there. And a lot of this is going to just result in a better way for college athletes to have like summer jobs. Like the rules before were just so irrational. It's not going to make a D2 athlete like a rich. You know, it will make the Alabama quarterback rich, who already has
$1 million
locked in.
Yeah.
Now, imagine now Nick Saban cannot give money to recruit, but Nick Saban can
promote
say,
them,
hey,
pitch them.
He can also say, hey, the last quarterback, he had like $1 million in endorsements. Imagine what you'll get.
Yeah,
yeah.
See, that's like the loophole to recruiting. Like, like
so,
Mississippi State's quarterback, Auburn's quarterback, they didn't make shit last year. Our quarterback, on average, every year was making $1 million.
And that's crazy.
It's like you could leave here, you could leave Auburn broke, or you could leave my program with $4 million cash in your pocket.
Yep.
Like,
and
tell me where you want to go to school.
It's definitely a very good thing for college sports in general, because I love college sports, man. Like a lot of my friends, like we play fantasy football together, they hate college football. And they're just like, they just don't have a team. They just don't like it.
It's much more authentic than the NFL.
I get their point of view. I think I love college football the most because I've always had a team. That's actually the one team I'm loyal to in any sports.
Same.
Is Notre Dame. You like Coastal too, right?
Yeah.
And the Chiefs. You got teams.
No. So like college sports, I always root for Notre Dame first, and then I have Coastal second, my alma mater, and NFL, Kansas City. Okay. I've always been like that. My dad's a Raiders fan. I'm Kansas City.
You guys go like outside of your
for Father's Day. I actually bought him tickets. We're going to see Chiefs versus Raiders in Vegas.
Awesome. That's
the new
so
Vegas
cool.
stadium.
I heard that stadium's amazing.
That'd be awesome. The Death Star.
That's amazing. They have a gambling there. And club service. But it's great for college football in general because, like, I've talked many times, like, college is not like the most valuable thing anymore for anybody. And even like Mark Cuban talks about, Mark Cuban's an NBA. He's the voice of the NBA. He's saying to high school athletes, yo, come play in the D League. Like, fuck going to college, play in the D League, make money, develop your game, and then go to the NBA.
Yeah.
Like, you have that option as an 18-year-old star who knows you're going to the NBA. Like, you can go to the D League, you can go overseas and make money. But if you go to, the best thing about going to college, playing with Coach K at Duke, is like the eyeballs.
Yeah, you build a fan base while you're in college. In the D League, no one knows who you are.
Exactly.
Nobody watches the D League.
And that was
now I feel like
that was
going to college is more valuable.
Well, that was valuable enough for Zion to do it.
Yeah.
Like it was, but and that was with him making no money. Now imagine, the money aspect, maybe Zion stays for 2 years. And so that's just better for college sports. That people will stay there longer. If a running back or a player needs more time to develop, they don't need to like rush out to go to the NFL to get their payday because they can stay. So it's good for the sport in that sense that players might stick around longer. And it's just good for the communities because like if you have if you're in the boosters, you're like a mom and you're like love the school and like if you have a family business or something, like now you can actually participate in the recruitment by like offering like deals. I heard there was I forget what school it was, but there's a local man who owns a gym, and he gave everybody on the football team, 53-player roster, $500 a month, and he said, "All you guys just push my gym, like just talk about my gym, tweet about my gym, post about my gym, go to my gym." He gave them $500 each, every player on the team, to talk about his local gym, like so they just all got $500. Like that's good for the community. And it's going to be good for college sports.
I do have to get going. We have to go to the United Monograms fall photo shoot.
That's right.
Coming up in 10 minutes.
Pat wears many hats. All right, Pat, let me ask you a question before you go.
All right, what's up?
Like, you said on the last Drink and Grow Rich that the job was like a little more demanding than you thought.
Yeah.
Like, am I the hardest working person you've ever been around and spent time with?
That's a good question.
I would imagine that like high school, college, family, Then you had like one job. You're early in your career.
Yes,
like,
Shelby. Yes. But that's a really good question because the dude I worked for before this has similar traits to you, and I'm gonna have to put my dad up there with you.
Fair enough.
My dad is the hardest working person that I know.
Let me reframe
I
the
put
question.
Sean a close second.
Let me reframe the question. I made that about me. Like,
what the fuck just happened?
So many lights. Actually, this looks better.
All right, here we go.
Is this
is like
the hardest?
Countdown.
Is this the hardest you've ever been demanded of?
Yes.
In your life.
Yes.
Okay.
This is like the busiest like around the clock schedule. Like for me to like kind of like step out and prioritize everything. This is like kind of like the most. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say like this and like I was a probation officer before this, and that was like a very demanding job. But
government though.
Yeah.
The government has built in like
you have help.
Yeah.
Whereas like, you have a team. Like I had a team.
Like this job is raw.
Yeah.
And like giving you a lot of responsibilities, and like the reason I liked you from the beginning was, I mean, you had your little video editing skills, but overall it was like your like positive attitude and like ready to rock and like create things, and like you have that attitude, right?
Yeah.
And then like I throw you into this, and like but it's like it's good, it's healthy. It's like your first time you've seen, and I'm not I openly admit I'm not the best like teacher, and I'm not the most like structured. I understand things and I can like tell them to you, but like so like, all right, hard work versus not hard work, like, or like a job where you're like demanded by, or a job where like you're not demanded by, like can you kind of see the fun? Can you kind of see the fun?
No. So it's fun once you like kind of like get the chemistry going, you get your shit done. Like it's a good feeling, like when like yeah, it's stressful, like going through everything, but like once you like click the publish button, like you're done, you're like, whew. Like it's like a 10-pound weight just like shaved off your chest.
Yeah.
And
the thing about that is like you have something else, right?
And it's like and it's like it comes down to like meeting deadlines, and it also like
and there's also like
you kind of get lost in time, which I like too, rather than just like sitting around like fucking around.
Yes. So that's So as I explained it to you, as you get better. And this only comes if you decide to like continue to improve on just like your everything going on in your head. Like the game, like they say this about athletes, like, but like the game slows down.
Yeah.
The game's like slow. So like that's what's happened to me over the years, like running this business and everything. Like I never miss like something never like whizzes by me without me seeing it. Like, you know, I always catch like, oh, this link doesn't work. Like, like it's because the game's slow for me. And you'll get there, but you won't get there unless you like I meditate. Like when I was hitting the tennis ball, that's me like, just like I'm.
It's like you were saying about Giannis. Like once you like hit success and you feel comfortable, you gotta get back in the gym. Stay on it.
A little bit. That's like a motivation element, but I'm talking about the being able to handle a lot of things at once element. My job, I'm the CEO of this company. Like I have to strategize. I have to like make plans. I have to like also make sure we have sales today. I have to think big picture. I have to think small picture. I have to like if something hits me, my inbox, my text, I have to instantly decide how to prioritize things here, there. And I've got real good at prioritize this, don't prioritize this. It's an instinct, and the game gets slow. And I want you to get there. I want you to get there where you're the one. Hit it, baby. And
lights went out.
And that's what I was appealed by you early on was I need somebody that like that's appealing to, somebody that wants to like build up a media company, someone that wants to do something great, like accomplish great things, like be going, be rocking, be like thinking, be like everything's coming, and you're just like, all right, where's my priorities, my big picture priorities, this week's priorities, today's priorities, being able to have something hit you and be like, boom, that goes there, and do it all in your head at once. Every time I have a thought, I write it down on some doc so I don't lose it. Like just being an organized, smart businessman is like, I think you have potential for that.
Yep.
All right, get the hell out of here.
All right, going to UM. I'll see you guys next Friday at 4.
I'll stick around for a little longer. I don't know if Friday at 4 is better than 3:30. You gonna take that?
I have to.
All right. This game is wide open for whoever wants to win. Pally Strong 96.
I don't think we have any winners yet.
Pally Strong 96. Ask me a question. just something insightful about business or something insightful about the world, and you'll be the winner. I'll Venmo you money after this for your favorite drink. CM Cash 14. No wage value, guys. There's something else I've been thinking about. I've been thinking a lot about that college sports thing. I want to become an expert on it. But what else have I been thinking about? I've been thinking about Pat. I'm just thinking about him all the time. All right, Pat. Here's my one advice on the photo shoots. You're taking the video. Keep the camera on the monograms, not the beautiful models' faces. But they're their faces too. But and then have fun with it. Think about the shot. It's like it's a lifestyle video. Pat's going to film a lifestyle video.
See it later on, right before fall hits.
It's not too far away. I was actually thinking about that.
It's right around the corner.
I was actually thinking about putting that on your calendar, like a deadline for that, because that's going to come down to the line. All right. Peace out. So happy this guy's leaving. All right, I got nothing to do. Hit me up. Yeah. What else have I been thinking about? I had this guy on my podcast who's from the Netherlands, and he worked in China for a long time. And I was asking him about China is kind of like America's enemy a little bit. And I just hear that and they say that because we're great and they're great, global dominance, and there's a lot of factors in that. And I was like, you hear how they're communists and there's no freedoms. And he was like, dude, that might be true for the biggest companies, but when I was in China, this is what the guy said. When I was in China, I just got this incredible energy that we're building, we're doing something, everyone's working hard. China is coming, dude. China is hungry. And China is China's something to look out for. And that could be better for America, but when you look at it from, just the what ifs, the military, the cybersecurity, space, the trading, we want to be the best. We want to have the power in the world as Americans. But I don't know, man, we've had a great run. It's so hard to stay on top forever, and China is coming. So maybe I'll just, be like Kevin Durant or just move to China and become a Chinese when they become better. But there's no definite measure of what makes a great country. What makes a great country? What makes a great country? What makes a great country? Maybe this is the first thing that comes to my head is because I'm American, but freedom. Do whatever the fuck you want is nice. Some people do better with tell me what to do. CJ Carrington, what's up, bro? We got a ball someday, man. I admit I work my ass off and I don't commonly take off hours of days to go play basketball with strangers. I promise you one thing, CJ. I promise you. You get me as the 9th guy in a 5-on-5 game, I'll play. Because I want to play some 5-on-5, dog. I want to play some 5-on-5. I miss playing 5-on-5 basketball. I'm better at 5-on-5 than I am at 1-on-1. But CJ, you could be the winner here. Hit me up with a question. Something about life, something about business, something that you've been thinking about, something that's interesting to you, something that's puzzling. I love thinking about just the deepest things in life. My friend Nico told me once I'm the deepest thinker he knows, and that was a good compliment for me. And I always actually go back and forth between bro, I play 5-on-5 all the time. All right, dude, send me some deets. But I always go back and forth between thinking about all right, as someone who's a personality talking, has a podcast, they say always have an opinion. Always don't be in the middle. Be hard on certain topics. And I don't know if I do enough of that. I'm not feeling faking it. Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp, or Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith. Debate shows. They pick beforehand. I'm gonna pick this. I'm gonna pick this. And they debate. And I I respect that art. I respect the art of debate. I like to really buckle down on things I truly believe in, and they don't come up like in any certain type of order. Toxic positivity, something I got obsessed over, made videos over, and I'm still very passionate about. And that's a topic that like I would die on. Like capitalism, I would die on. But like, so should you be like that, or should you be somebody who's always like making a point? Or I actually more naturally am kind of like in the middle, and I like to hear both sides, and I like to reason it out. I like to think about it. Like, and I like to, dude, you're way off, or like find like, and I'm also good enough to be like you're thinking, you're thinking like the wrong way because of this. Your bias is here. Like, I enjoy being the person to think things out. Like, I'm a political centrist. I enjoy the center, but maybe I need to be more opinionated sometimes, and I will when I believe in it. What's your favorite part of running your own business? CJ, keep the questions coming because you're going to be the winner. My favorite part of running my own business is just everything about, okay. Knowing that I don't get paid with any ceiling. Like, if you have a salary and you know what your salary is, and you have trouble financing your life, like, you're an idiot. You're a fucking idiot. You make this much a month. Your payment for your car and your mortgage and your food is this much. Like, you're a fucking idiot if you can't figure out how to manage your finances with a set income at the top of the calculation. It's so simple. I don't have a set income. Like, how many things I can buy are based upon like how well the business is doing. Like, actually, like right now, we're kind of in the downs of like the end of the downtime, big staff, big new building. I'm a couple days away from like our biggest times of the year. Like, early August is always when fall starts. We have everything planned out, mapped out for it, new products, videos, all this stuff. Like, I know like a up is coming soon in like 8, 10 days. And but like at this current second in time, like I'm fucking broke. Like, but imagine being broke and having no hope for how you're okay. I know my fixed income, and I need, if I take all the money for my next 10 paychecks and I put it into my problem I'm having, that doesn't even fix it. And 10 paychecks takes 20 weeks. So your problem is like so much more stressful. My favorite thing about running a business is that I can do things that make more money in a period of time that's sooner than having like a paid every 2 weeks. Now, if you take the average person, you said every 2 weeks, or my way of what I like you should take the 2 weeks. Like, the things I deal with are very stressful for the normal person, and I can deal with it. I love it. I enjoy it. I thrive in it. And I think it's my strength. That's why I should be an entrepreneur. It's why I should be a business owner. But like, that's my favorite thing about running a business is that I don't need to wait for a paycheck to have like money, like dollars, like US dollars, like, bank account dollars, like transfer from PayPal to here to there. Like, it's like, oh man, I really need money for this. Like, all right, well, if I wait a couple hours, I can take my PayPal money, throw that in there, and then like, it's just like I'm always be able to throw shit around to keep shit together. And I like that. I like that. I like not having a set money coming into me. It's more fun. It makes me more excited about every day. And that's my favorite part about running a business. I'm just gonna fucking stay on here. Who cares? CJ, you ask one more question, you lock in the win. I see Patrick Bet David. Patrick Bet David. Fucking love that dude. He was on my podcast, but he's got a huge channel, Valuetainment. He said he's put up $5 million. I think he's worth like 150 million. I've read on the internet. You can never trust like what someone's worth or whatever, but he's put up $5 million to bring. He'll give 2.5 million to Trump and 2.5 million to Obama if they get in the same room. And obviously, he hasn't like said this outright, but he should be the mediator for sure. That's what he wants. But he would also pay the money if he wasn't the mediator. To just sit in the same room and just like talk in like a podcast style format. Like there's never been one president out of 44 presidents, 45 now, that have ever sat down on a podcast style conversation. The closest one might, it's actually not true. The closest one might, I was going to say Donald Trump used to go on Howard Stern, but I think Obama and Bruce Springsteen did a podcast. Now, isn't that so interesting that I never cared to listen to that? Obama sitting down with Bruce Springsteen to do a podcast, so random and so cool. And for one, actually, right now I'm thinking, damn, I should go listen to that. Like, but I never heard any like news from it or anything. Like, I never was like, yo, you got to listen to Obama and Springsteen's podcast. Like, that means it was probably the thing about presidents is like they're so canned, and like Trump wasn't, but he was in a way. Like he had his talking points, and like there's this guy, I don't know how to pronounce his name. Sanjay and Crystal, they have a show called The Hill, amazing show. He said he interviewed Trump once, and like every time he asked him a question, he was just like boom, boom into his like points that he was thinking of that day. Like it's hard to break that man down, Trump, and just like get real, you know? He doesn't drink or anything, so like it's hard to be like, so like isn't they crazy about this or that? Like he doesn't like get into like a into an introspective spirit. And I think Obama does, but you know, he's got so many people he's got to answer to in the Democratic Party, but like it's an amazing idea. And if you get those two together, you know, loosen up your tie a little bit, just chat, that even the optics of it, regardless of what's said, unless they end up fist fighting, that would be amazing for the country. So Pat David said he put up $5 million. I said today I put up $10,000. And dude, I mean, that would be amazing. What motivates you when things aren't going the way you plan them to? All right, CJ, I said if you ask one more question, you're the winner. So this will be my last thing, and you're the winner. Like, that's a weird question because it's saying that if something doesn't go the way that you plan them, that you need motivation because you aren't motivated, because you're upset that things haven't gone the way that you planned them. Things never go the way you plan them. Literally, like planning and business plans and planning is such a weird thing. You can't plan. A football coach, you can't plan out all the plays. You plan out the first series and things. So I've already accepted that things aren't going to go the way I plan, and I'm more of a counterpuncher, reactor on certain big picture strategies. And what motivates me? I'm a human being. I'm so lucky. I love life. I'm so blessed. We have cars. We have grocery stores. I'm so blessed to be alive that I just want to make every moment count. And I don't want to waste time doing stupid shit. I want to just do stuff that will build my legacy, that will build up all the people around me. I want to do something special. Like, why not? Who cares? Who gives a shit? We're all going to die. And like, I mean that in a positive sense. Life is motivating. The fact that we're even alive is so precious and so amazing. You could be a tree. You could be a sperm cell that didn't make it to your mom's egg. You could be anything. You could be a fucking stupid ass fly or something. You're a human being. You have a long, valuable life. That is incredible. I want to cherish it. And that's like my baseline motivation. I'm not American, but I am excited for the Obama-Trump sit-down. Now, Rahib, Rob, whatever your name is. I don't know if you're a salesman or all, but you just pulled an amazing salesperson tactic. It's called the assumptive close. The assumptive close. If someone's like, say you're selling someone a phone service, right? And they're talking to you about if they want to get it or not. And then you say to them like, so once you like have the service, do you think you'll get like this ringtone or this ringtone? So then their mind jumps past the fact that they already bought the service into what ringtone they want. It's called the assumptive close. It's putting the person you're selling to's mind in a frame where they're now thinking one step past the actual sale. You just did that. I'm excited for the sit down. It's you're like I'm excited too. Like let's assumptive close this bitch. I mean, it hasn't been established that it will happen, but that is like a great sales strategy, a great tactic, a great way to influence like where somebody you want to go to dinner. Like a lot of sales tactics apply to like you and your wife, your boyfriend or girlfriend in the car, and you want to go to dinner. Like you want to go somewhere, they want to go somewhere. Obviously, like you're both going to dinner, so you're sold on dinner, but like you got to sell them now on where. Like a lot of sales tactics apply in that sense because the person already has the need, or they wouldn't be talking to the salesman. And it's like they want Chinese, you want Mexican. You're like, damn, like what salsa? What salsa should we get? Or like, I'm decided if I want steak tacos or chicken tacos. Like, I know you like chicken tacos. Like, if you were like you start putting their frame of mind, and they're like, all right, let's get tacos. Like, it's the assumptive close, baby, and it's a great sales tactic. It's a great way to, I guess, like manipulate those around you in a close sense. And dude, speaking of manipulation, right? Manipulation, a negative word. Manipulate, bad. You don't want to manipulate people, make them do things they don't want to do. I have a lot of thoughts that I always say that sound bad. And that's why my favorite person in the world is Robert Greene, the author of the book 48 Laws of Power, the author of the book Mastery, the author of the book The Art of Seduction. All his books are dark as fuck. And he's one of the most well-known, renowned authors. He wrote a book with 50 Cent called The 50th Law with 50 Cent. Like Jay-Z knows him. Like he's coming on my podcast August 25th. I am nervous and thrilled to talk to him about such deep intellectual things. But like, you have to manipulate people to sell them. Sorry, if you're like one of those like virtue signalers, and like you don't want to kill bugs and everything you want to do is nice, you just don't want to be a bad person. That kind of fucks up with your psyche. I don't want to be a bad person, but like I'm a real person and I can be a bad person. But like, okay, go ahead and just treat everyone around you evilly. You will never succeed. You need to treat people. You need to care about people. Like, I actually think the whole world, your marriage, like your family, your employees, like it's all just some deep, dark, selfish manipulation. And like, I didn't create biology and humans, but I do think that like, and if I think from that sense, I can act more practically. Now, if I'm talking to certain people, I can try to like say the opinion in a nicer way. My approach to like communication is I'm straightforward, but I try as hard as I can, like to say the thing that is like a dick comment, like that shirt's ugly. Like, dude, I'm just trying to. Now, there's no point to say the shirt's ugly if they like the shirt and whatever. It's subjective. Like, but if their actually shirt's so ugly that if they go out as your friend, they're not going to get any girls. Like, you're actually trying to help them. Like, you're actually trying to genuinely help the person. A nice person will not tell them their shirt's ugly. The most kindest person will actually tell them their shirt's ugly because they actually care about that person. So, like, you could be like, yo, your shirt's fucking ugly. And, like, you essentially have to say that. So my strategy is to say the thing, but put it in a compliment sandwich. Say it in a nice way. Say the thing and say it in a nice way, or put a nice thing around it. Dude, you're the man. You always got the best style. But if you fucking wear that shirt out tonight, there's a 0% chance you're gonna get laid. Don't wear that shirt. And like, I think if you put on a different shirt, dude, we're gonna have the best night. But you gotta kind of try to like, it's just easier to have a nicer tone for person to person things, but also you gotta be the one to say the hardest stuff. So I'll talk about that with Robert Greene. But anyway, CJ Carrington, you're the champ. Peace out, bitches.